Okay, for introduction, finance is actually an art and the science of managing money. Managing finance involves the use of various economic theories and accounting information to achieve the goals of the firm and individual. There are two objectives of the financial management. First, to create wealth for the business and generate cash. Second one, to provide an adequate return on investment, bearing in mind the taking the risk that the business is taking and the resources invested. In this assignment, we have calculated that the financial ratio of Petronas Gas Berhad and Petron Malaysia Berhad.
I would like to present about business nature. The first company is Petronas. Petronas is Malaysia Oil and Gas Corporation. The corporation which was founded in 1974 and wholly owned by the Malaysia government. Petronas Malaysia Integrate Multinational Petroleum Corporation has a present in over 30 years of experience in oil and gas operation. Its business activity range from upstream oil and gas exploration product to downstream oil refining, the marketing and distribution of petroleum product, training, gas processing and liquefaction, gas transmission, pipeline operation, the marketing of liquefied natural gas, petrochemical manufacture and marketing, shipping and property investment. And the second is Petron. Petron Corporation announced its investment in ExxonMobil downstream business with the equation completion on March 30. Petron subsidiaries in Malaysia were established on April. In July 2012, Exxon Malaysia Berhad (EMB) was officially renamed to Petron Malaysia Refining and Marketing Berhad. PMRMB operate the Petron Production Refinery (PDR), which has a rate capacity of 88,000 barrels per day and produce a wide range of petroleum products, including gasoline, diesel, liquefied petroleum gas (LPG), and aviation fuel. Our world-class fuel and distribute from 11 strategically located depot and terminal of Petron subsidiary in Malaysia.
Today I want to present about analysis ratio. First is liquidity ratio. Liquidity ratio can be defined as the ability of company to settle exceeding the commitment in short-term obligation. The liquidity ratio show how the company ability to return the debts without external source financing. Second is current ratio. One of liquidity ratio called as current ratio show the accessibility of a company to settle down the debts in short-term period during the time that been given, and analysis toward present assets to fulfillment the current liabilities, and another payable will be happen with the investor. And formula for current ratio is current ratio equal to current assets divided current liability. And lastly is quick ratio. The ratio measure how will the company can meet its short-term liabilities with its most liquid ratio, and it will calculate the percentage of a company current liabilities that can be covered by cash and asset that can be quickly convert to cash. And formula for quick ratio is quick ratio equal to current asset minus inventory divide current liability.
Today, I would like to present the horizontal analysis for Petronas Gas Berhad. Firstly, the liquidity ratio for current ratio frequently decreased from 5.17 in 2019 to 3.64 in 2021 due to its sufficient to pay short-term obligation. Next is about activity ratio for inventory turnover revenue was rapidly increased from 69.84 to 135.070 in 2019 to 2021 due to its more effectiveness of inventory to generate sale on 2021. The leverage or solvency ratio for debt to equity continually increased from 7% to 10% from 2019 to 2021 due to its lowest amounts of debts. Lastly, for profitability ratio example, the gross margin for Petronas Gas Berhad show positive result when it increased on 2019 47% and it remained on 2020 and 2021 48%, affected by the improvements of managing the cost sale.
For liquidity ratio, we have two, which is the current ratio and the quick ratio. The current ratio for Petron Malaysia Refining and Marketing Berhad was decreased from 1.05 in years 2019 to 0.75 in years 2020 and 0.95 in 2021. The quick ratio for Petron Malaysia Refining and Marketing Berhad was decreased from 0.48 in years 2019 to 0.36 in years 2020. This situation reflects the ability of Petron Malaysia Refining and Marketing Berhad was insufficient to pay short-term obligation in these 2 years in 2020. The current ratio for the Petron Malaysia was increasing a little bit from 0.36 in year 2020 to 0.53. As we can see, the result for activity ratio in 2019 is better than 2020. The gross profit margin in years 2019 is 4% and it decreased to 3% in years 2019 and increased to 6%. Decrease in gross profit margin in year 2020 showed bad sign to Petron Malaysia Refining and Marketing Berhad because they cannot manage the cost sale properly. Then the value increased in year 2021 because a higher contribution margin. For the return on equity, the result was decreased in 2019 until 2021 from 3% to 1%. Vertical analysis. First, liquidity ratio, which is current ratio. Petronas Gas Berhad current ratio decreased year by year, but the ratio is upper than 1. Petronas can pay its short-term applications on time, although the ratio is decreased in 3 years due to the ratio above than 1. Quick ratio. The quick ratio for Petronas Gas Berhad continuously decreased year by year, but the ratio is still above than 1. Meanwhile, Petron Malaysia Berhad has not stable and all the ratio is under than 1. For activity ratio, first, inventory turnover renew. Petronas Gas Berhad has a higher inventory turnover than Petron Malaysia Berhad. In all 3 years, the ratio for Petronas Gas Berhad is greater than another one. This is because they has more effectiveness of inventory to generate all sales. Second, the average collection period. The average for both companies is not stable. Petronas Gas Berhad has taken more days than Petron Malaysia Berhad. Third activity ratios is account receivable turnover, which is Petron Malaysia Berhad is having the greater one of the account receivable turnover ratio than Petronas Gas Berhad, seen increase in the last year to keep the account turnover. Next, fixed asset turnover. The fixed asset inventory ratio shows the Petron Malaysia Berhad has greater ratio compared to Petronas Gas Berhad, seeing the ratio above than 1 in all 3 years. It shows that Petron Malaysia Berhad is more effective to generate sale from fixed assets. The last one, total asset turnover. Petron Malaysia Berhad has higher ratio compared to Petronas Gas Berhad and the ratio over the 1, while another one under than 1 from 2019 to 2021.
Firstly is debt ratio. Debt ratio is a financial ratio that shows the percentage of asset of a company provided through debt. In 2019-2021, Petron has the highest percentage of debt ratio from 2019-2021, while Petronas has the lowest percentage from 2019-2021. In 2019 to 2021, the trend of debt to equity for Petron has decreased from 2019-2020 and increased in 2021. Cost profit margin is a measure of income against the cost of goods sold. COGS operating profit margin account for COGS as well as operating expenses such as labor, rent, and utilities. In 2019-2021, Petron has decreased from 2019-2021, while Petronas have increased in 2019. Petronas operating profit margin continue increase for 3 years, but Petron is unstable from 2019-2021. The trend of net profit margin for Petron is decrease, and Petronas continue increase in 2019-2020. The trend of return on asset for Petron is unstable from 2019-2021, while Petronas continue increase from 2019-2020 and same in 2019-2021. Return on equity or ROE ratio is a meaning of financial performance calculated as net income divided by shareholder equity. The two companies shows the same percentage situation, that is, there is a decrease from 2019-2020 and increase in 2019-2021.
I will continue the recommendation. The first recommendation is both organizations may seek financial guidance to boost their financial account. Second is to improve their financial management and profit margins. Both firms can profit from several solutions. Third is dispose of any assets that are no longer useful to you in the final stage. Lastly is conclusion. In conclusion, financial ratio analysis is critical for comparing line items and financial statements for all companies worldwide and is used to evaluate various aspects of entities including liquidity, profitability, activity and leverage ratio. That's all from me. Thank you.